off situation. This is not who we are.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't. Yeah, we have no issues. We didn't lose any. We have no issues. So I think I'm not permitted to comment on that specific situation. But I would tell you, we have no issues amongst our current team, or we haven't had any issues in any other recruiting situations.
It's supposed to work, though, when there's this third party communicating on your behalf in some ways, or not really, but in essence, they're off doing their thing. You don't have communication control over it.
Yeah.
How's it supposed to work?
It's a great question.
Do you have an answer or a theory?
Well, I think that, I think it's very fluid. That's what I would say. I think that, it's like coming up with a different management system, right? Different checks and balances. I mean, we're talking about a completely different dynamic. We're playing a game that's never been played before.
Management system. I don't know, again, this may be something you can't talk on, but the management system with the collective, do you think that it has or will change here?
I don't know that I can. That's not my place to comment on that.
So I don't think there's any issues. If you guys are wondering if there's no issues or any issues, there is no
Are there
issues.
any issues?
There's no, there's no issues going on.
No issues.
So it's funny because, look, it's handled how it should be handled. He's not going to say anything, and they just keep probing. And it's a weird place to be in, right, for everybody involved, because I get it. Because as the journalist, you want the story, because everybody wants to know the story. Everybody says they don't want to know the story. They're tired of hearing about the story. You want to hear. If you see the story come out, you're going to click on the story. And
of course,
unfortunately, you as the journalist, they have to ask the tough questions and try to ask it in a unique way to have Billy slip up. So it's such an awkward thing. It's like Billy's like, "What's up, bro?" Like, you're not gonna get anything. Just shut the F up and leave me the hell alone. Let's talk about football. But oh man, it was
our trusty reporters Edgar Thompson and Mark Long, gotta love them.
Mark Long.
Short of asking the question in a different language, I don't think that they're going to uncover anything that he hasn't already said or will slip up and say, unless you're going to figure out how to speak Klingon and try to run one by him. See if you can't strip him up a little bit. I think his answers are about as canned as they can get. I can't really talk about that. There's not really a lot of issues. Next question, no issues. Can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. There's no issues. So let's just move it along.
Yeah, that was the thing about Billy Napier, and what I like about him is if he's not going to answer a question, he ain't going to answer a question. Exactly. You can ask him all day long. He's not going to pop. I thought it was funny, though. I mean, at the beginning of the press conference, you knew that question would probably is going to come up because, of course, you want to hear Billy Napier's side of it and what happened. And he's not going to be able to comment because of NCAA protocol. But at the same time, it was funny that they kept pressing the question for about 5 to 10 minutes, and they couldn't just get a clue that say, "Hey, look, dude, guy's not going to answer the question. Let's roll on with some other signing day things that happen." So, I from a standpoint of watching Billy Napier's reactions and just looking at them like they were dumb, it made me laugh.
Do you think that February 2nd, with the recruiting cycle being over right now, feels like, tomorrow being the 2nd, it almost feels like it's Christmas for Billy Napier, because he's going to be given the gift of never having to talk about Jaden Rashada again. He's got his class. Rashada's somewhere else. We're working with 2024 now. I mean, I don't see a scenario where he's sitting in front of a podium that awkward again. He's got to be super excited that this whole thing is just behind him and done.
I think it will be. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that's the kind of respect I have for Billy Napier, because he's going to stick to his guns no matter what. Like he's just as, I would say he's just as stubborn as Nick Saban, but maybe not as mouthy, I would say, because I think Nick Saban's a little bit more mouthy than Napier is, but Napier is he's more to himself.
Nick's earned the
right.
He's
earned it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the issue that Billy, like I said, his head will lay to rest tonight a little bit easier, but if anything happens in the 2024 class remotely close to this, it's the door hasn't necessarily closed on it. It's a weak straw door that could be blown down at any moment. And we were watching the game here. We're up by 9 with 2 minutes to go, by the way, and Billy's at the game, which just infuriated me, because I don't know who the hell gave him the night off to go enjoy himself when he should be out there recruiting. Might as well just be wakeboarding at this point. I kid, but he's with his son. And Ricky, he was with Ricky Pearsall there. Why don't you bring a recruit to the game with you, Billy?